Now in this Toyota, the throttle position sensor is right here. As the throttle is moved, it also moves the inside of the throttle sensor so the computer knows how wide open it is, right? And you think you might have a bad throttle position sensor? Stay tuned. Because I'm going to show you how to check and replace a bad throttle position sensor.
Is your car acting like it's stuck in mud, even on dry pavement? You might be dealing with a faulty throttle position sensor, but before you rush to the mechanic and empty your wallet, stick around. We're about to reveal 3 secret methods to reset your TPS that could save you hundreds in unnecessary repairs. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how to diagnose throttle issues and apply fixes ranging from a simple ignition reset to a full TPS reprogramming. By the end of this video, you'll have the skills to restore your car's peppy performance without breaking the bank. Trust me, your car and your wallet will thank you. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Ever had that sinking feeling when you press the gas pedal and your car just doesn't respond like it used to? It's as if your trusty vehicle has suddenly developed a stubborn personality, refusing to accelerate when you need it most. Well, here's a shocking revelation. Your car might be lying to you right now. That's right, and the culprit behind this deception is none other than a tiny component called the throttle position sensor, or TPS for short. Now, you might be wondering, what's this TPS and why is it so important? Think of the TPS as your car's interpreter. It's constantly monitoring the position of your throttle valve and relaying that information to your car's brain, the engine control unit. This communication is crucial for your engine's performance, determining how much air and fuel should be mixed for optimal combustion. But here's where things get tricky. When your TPS starts to malfunction, it's like having a translator who suddenly decided to speak in riddles. Your car's computer receives these garbled messages and tries its best to make sense of them, often leading to some pretty frustrating results. You might find yourself struggling to accelerate as if your car is dragging an invisible anchor. Or worse, you could experience sudden stalling or unpredictable surges in power. Now, here's the real kicker. A faulty TPS is a master of disguise. It can mimic symptoms of other, much more expensive problems. Imagine taking your car to the mechanic, thinking you need a new fuel pump or a complete overhaul of your ignition system, only to find out later that it was just this small sensor playing tricks on you. It's a scenario that plays out more often than you'd think, leaving car owners with unnecessarily hefty repair bills and a whole lot of frustration. So how can you tell if your TPS is the silent saboteur behind your car's recent bad behavior? Keep an eye out for these 3 telltale signs. First, pay attention to erratic or inconsistent throttle response. If your car seems to have a mind of its own when it comes to acceleration, your TPS might be the culprit. Second, watch for poor acceleration or sluggish performance, especially when you're trying to pick up speed quickly. And third, if your check engine light suddenly illuminates accompanied by error codes related to the throttle position, it's a strong indicator that your TPS is crying out for attention.
It's flashing out the code right now. And in this case, it's code 41, which is a problem in the throttle position sensor system. So in this case, we get a metal jumper wire and connect T, E, and E1 together and turn the key on to read the codes with the check engine light flashing. Put and unplug the throttle position sensor. If it starts running better like this, that's a pretty good sign that the throttle position sensor is bad.
Now, you might be thinking, great, another expensive car problem to deal with. But here's the good news. Resetting your TPS doesn't have to break the bank or require an engineering degree. In fact, the first method we're about to share is so simple, you'll be amazed you didn't try it sooner. It's a quick fix that could save you hundreds in unnecessary repairs and get your car back to its peppy, responsive self in no time. But before we dive into our first fix, let's take a moment to really understand what happens when your TPS goes rogue. Imagine your car's computer as a chef and the TPS as the recipe book. When the TPS starts sending incorrect information, it's like someone has swapped out half the ingredients in that recipe book. The chef, your car's computer, is still trying its best to cook a great meal, but with the wrong ingredients, the results are bound to be less than appetizing. This miscommunication can lead to a whole host of issues, from poor fuel economy to reduced engine performance, and in some cases, even damage to other components problems if left unchecked for too long. You're about to discover a fix so quick and easy, it might sound too good to be true. But trust me, this 60-second solution could save you hundreds in unnecessary repairs. Ever heard of the ignition reset method? It's a pro secret that's leaving mechanics scratching their heads. Here's the deal, when your throttle feels sluggish or your engine's revving strangely, you might think you're in for an expensive repair. But before you open your wallet, let's try something simpler. The ignition reset method is your first line of defense against a misbehaving throttle position sensor. Now I know what you're thinking. Come on, how can turning a key fix my car? I get it. It sounds too simple to work, but here's the kicker. This method has been proven effective, especially in modern vehicles. And the best part, you can do it right now in your driveway without any special tools. So let's walk through this step by step. First, turn your key to the on position, but don't start the engine. Now, slowly press the gas pedal all the way to the floor. Hold it there for 3 seconds. Count it out if you need to. Then slowly release the pedal. That's one cycle. You're going to repeat this process 3 times. After the 3rd cycle, turn the key off and wait for 10 seconds. That's it. You've just reset your throttle position sensor. Sounds easy, right? Well, it is. But here's where it gets really interesting. A car owner who tried this method reported, and I quote, "The difference was dramatic. Imagine going from a sluggish, unresponsive throttle to crisp, smooth acceleration in less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee." But why does this work? It's not magic, it's science. When you perform the ignition reset, you're allowing your car's computer to recalibrate the throttle response. It's like hitting the refresh button on your car's brain, restoring the throttle's performance to its original factory settings. Now, I know some of you skeptics out there might be thinking this is too simple to be effective, but think about it. How many times have you fixed a problem with your phone or computer by simply turning it off and on again? Your car's computer isn't that different. But here's where I need to pump the brakes a bit. While this method can work wonders, it's not a cure-all. If your throttle response doesn't improve after the reset, you might be dealing with a more serious issue. And remember, precision is key. Skipping any part of the process can lead to an unsuccessful reset. Each cycle should take about 7 seconds, so don't rush it. Still, for many drivers, this simple reset can be a game changer. It's a method that can potentially save you hundreds in repair costs by addressing the TPS issue without professional intervention. And let's be honest, who doesn't love solving a problem themselves? Ever noticed how unplugging your router can magically fix your internet? Well, your car has a similar reset button, and it's not where you'd expect. This next method is so thorough, it's like hitting the factory reset on your entire vehicle. But here's the kicker, it could solve problems you didn't even know you had. Welcome to the power play of car troubleshooting, the battery disconnect method. This isn't just about fixing your throttle, it's about refreshing every electronic system in your vehicle. And the best part, you don't need to be a certified mechanic to pull it off. Now I know what you're thinking. Messing with the car battery, isn't that dangerous? Don't worry, we've got you covered. This method is safer than you might think, and we'll walk you through every step to ensure you do it right. So what's the magic behind this method? It's all about giving your car's computer a chance to reboot. By disconnecting the battery for 5 to 10 minutes, you're allowing the car's entire electronic brain to reset. This isn't just a quick fix. It's like sending your car's systems back to day one. Here's how you do it. First, make sure your car is off and the key is out of the ignition. This is crucial to avoid any electrical issues. Next, locate your car battery. It's usually under the hood, but some models hide it in the trunk or under the floor mat. Once you've found it, disconnect the negative terminal. It's the black one with the minus sign. Leave it disconnected for 5 to 10 minutes, just enough time to grab a coffee or check your social media. When you're ready, reconnect the battery. But here's the important part. Don't start your car right away. Instead, turn the key to the on position and let your car sit for about 15 minutes. This gives all the systems time to recalibrate. Now, why is this method so effective? Automotive electricians swear by it, especially for cars with electronic throttle control systems. It's not just resetting your throttle position sensor, it's giving a fresh start to multiple car systems. Think of it as a spa day for your car's electronics. But let's be real, there are some side effects you should know about. Remember those perfectly tuned radio presets? Yeah, they're gone. Your clock will need resetting too. It's a small price to pay for potentially fixing multiple issues, but it's worth being prepared. Pro tip, take a quick photo of your settings before you start. Here's something that might surprise you. This method is so powerful, it rivals professional diagnostic equipment. That's right, you're wielding a tool that mechanics charge big bucks to use. It's like having a secret weapon in your DIY car repair arsenal. But what if you're dealing with a really stubborn throttle problem? Don't worry, we've got one more trick up our sleeve. In our next section, we'll unveil the ultimate TPS fix, a method so powerful it's reserved for the most persistent issues.